Alright, I have to think of a good title for this video, so maybe by the end of this video it'll come to me, so we'll see. Thought about calling this one the most offensive video you'll ever watch on the planet. Why? Because of two things. Number one, I'm not going to church today because I'm on holidays, and it's not an excuse obviously, but I get to hang out with my grandson, my wife, which usually works on Sunday because she's a pastor, and then also get to hang out with my daughter, and she just got a new Bible for the grandbaby, which I get to read. And the other day I read for the very first time my reading to my grandchild, Luke chapter 2, because he was just circumcised. So then I thought maybe that would be a cool little story to read about baby Jesus in the King James Version, of course. So second thing that this may offend people is I'm going to get some bacon and eggs. Now, some people might be offended that I am eating bacon, but in North America, that is a little bit of a tradition on the weekend, is to have bacon, eggs, and toast. Sometimes I think there's nothing better. Nothing better. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm heading out to the grocery store to do that. So I wanted to talk briefly about a Rapture type scenario, and I think for those people that are interested in learning about the Rapture and finding out about all the secret and hidden gems of mentions, if you will, of the Rapture throughout the Bible, I'm going to call you guys Rapturians. Okay, so from now on, whenever I'm talking about the Rapture, I'm going to be like, hey, my fellow Rapturians, because this seems like there is a group of people that are interested in that kind of conversation. So this is the origin of Rapturians, if you will. I tried looking up what Rapturian meant, but it's nowhere in the dictionary. It's a made-up word, Rapturian. So there you go. This is the first time you're ever going to hear that word, Rapturian. Anyways, let's talk briefly about Lot. In the book of Genesis, we see three angels appear before Abraham. Now, to us Christians, we think one of these angels was Jesus Christ, or a type, because it says it's the Lord, and it looks like, when you're reading it, this looks like God, but we know that God is invisible as well, so this could be his son. It's like a type of Christ, possibly. The other two are angels. So these three meet up with Abraham, because now he has the promise of having a child a year from now, and Sarah just finished laughing, and they're going back and forth. You did laugh, and she's like, no, I didn't laugh, and he's like, yes, you did laugh, and no, I didn't, yes, you did, kind of thing. But anyways, the point is that God says to Abraham, shall we tell him, because he's going to be a powerful nation one day, should we tell him what we're about to do, what we're going to do? And the other two angels leave to go towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abraham says the cries of the wickedness from these two cities have reached my ears, basically, and we're going to go check it out to make sure that what we heard is actually true, because they're going to destroy the whole place. So it's interesting that two angels are dispatched to Sodom and Gomorrah, because you need two witnesses, at least two witnesses, before you can pronounce judgment. before God pronounces judgment. He has two witnesses, which is interesting because there are two witnesses in the book of Revelation, which I believe are Elijah and Moses. Seems to be pretty clear that those are who is in Jerusalem at the time. Two witnesses for 3.5 years, I believe it is. But anyways, Abraham gets bold, and he says to God that, will you destroy all these wicked people if there are righteous people in the city? You can't destroy the righteous with the wicked. So which is why we're talking about the rapture, because you got to get rid of the Christians, the people that believe in Jesus Christ first, before the bad stuff happens. The wrath of God gets released onto the earth. So this is why we talk about a rapture, because here's our first instance of Abraham pleading with God, saying, like, you're not going to destroy all the wicked people with the righteous, right? And then God's like, well, it's a good point, basically. And Abraham says, like, how about if you find 50 righteous people there? And God said, if there's 50, I'm not going to do it. Then Abraham's like, okay, just give me a little bit of grace here. How about if there's 45 people? God's like, I'm not going to destroy it. If I find 45 people, I am not going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. How about 40? How about 35? How about 30? How about 20? How about 10? God said no, because Abraham talked him all the way down to 10. And God said, I will not destroy Sodom and Gomorrah if there are 10 people. And then off he went. And we now see these two angels in the city, and Lot tells them to turn in and not to sleep out in the city, because he knows how wicked these people are. Lot is considered righteous, all right? And he said, no, like, don't sleep here, sleep under my roof in my house. And so the angel said, no, we're going to stay out here in the night and see what's going on here. And Lot again says, no, like, come into my house. So they brought him into the house, fed them and everything. And then all these men, young and old, gathered around the city and said, bring out these men that are with you so that we can have sex with them. Sodomy, sodomites, horrible stuff. They wanted to have sex with angels. That alone is pure wickedness. And Lot said, no, don't do this wicked thing. These men are under the protection of my house. And he said, here are my daughters. Take them instead. Which, obviously, in Western culture, that's not the best thing to do as well. But we also don't understand the wickedness of what's going on at this time. Like, these guys were going to rape and basically murder these two men that are under the protection of Lot. And they said, here comes a guy that's judging us. We're going to do to him even worse than what we were going to do to these guys. So then one of the angels put his hand outside the door, blinded everyone, so they're groping around. They couldn't see where they're going, couldn't see anything. And then the angels quickly said, if you have family here, anyone, we got to get out of the city. So then Lot went to his sons-in-law and said, we got to get out. God is going to destroy the city. And the sons-in-law laughed him to scorn, saying, this guy's always saying this kind of stuff, always saying this. Kind of like us today. We're always saying there's a rapture imminent. Like, the Lord is coming back. Just look around you. We just had Pride Month in June. The whole month of June. And it's everywhere. It's in baseball. It's in commercials. It's everywhere. We see this stuff everywhere. So these men wanted to have sex with these angels. and they were blinded, and the angel said, we got to get out of here. So they couldn't bring the sons-in-law. They didn't want to come. So they were tarrying. They were just trying to think of maybe they could stay in the city. Maybe they had more time. And both angels grabbed Lot. So one angel grabbed Lot and his wife. The other angel grabbed the 2 daughters. So how many is that? That's only that's only 4 people. And God still didn't destroy Sodom and Gomorrah until he pulled Lot, his wife, and his 2 daughters out. And they told him, don't look back. And Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt, vaporized instantly into a pillar of salt. And they were literally pulled out of the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. And then the angels said to Lot, flee to one of these cities. I forget which one it was. I think it was Zoar or something like that. And Lot's like, I don't want to flee into the mountains because that's too far. I'm not going to make it. How about one of these cities? This isn't so far away. And they said, okay, go. Because we can't destroy the city until you guys are safe. Till you are safe. Once they got to that town, boom, smoke and ash. I believe it was almost like a nuclear holocaust. Sulfur rained down, and basically Sodom and Gomorrah was wiped out. And also I believe there was like 5 other cities that were destroyed as well. So that is a rapture type scenario, as in God removing righteous people before destruction comes. And I believe that is what is going to happen in the future, whether that's this Wednesday, July 26th, like I've been continuing on this Rapture series, because there are some people saying that because the day of Pentecost is at hand and all this kind of stuff, that could be a day. We're in that season that a rapture could happen, especially if there's a peace treaty signed with Israel, with the Antichrist, all this kind of stuff, and the temple being built, all this. If that all goes into place, basically you have 7 years before Armageddon. So that's why people are talking about the rapture quite a bit, and it seems to be more and more people are talking about the rapture and all this. And I think the biggest thing is that you can take away from here is God has a plan in place. We're not part of that plan for getting the full measure of God's wrath. That's not what Christians are here on this earth for. We're not here for the wrath. That is Jacob's trouble. That is later. We're not for that. So that's why we talk about the rapture. That's why we don't believe that we're going to be here when all the crap hits the fan. So in the next video, I'm going to try and share another story of a rapture type scenario, so you can get an idea that there are hints that God grabs his people and pulls them out before he ushers in destruction. Okay, that's basically what the rapture is. It's not in the Bible. The Bible isn't in the Bible. Just so we're clear on that, because some people are like, there's no such thing as the word rapture in the Bible. Well, there's no word Bible in the Bible, but we have a Bible. Anyways, hopefully you got something out of this, and hopefully you read that story from Genesis. I don't know, I think it's Genesis 11 or something like that. Anyways, have a look at it. Read it for yourself. And then I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.